Okay, everyone, and welcome to the weekend edition. We're the 21st of July, 2023. Apologize if you guys can hear what's going on in the background. We have an epic rain and thunderstorm. But I wanted to get this out to get done with this and on to my weekend. So, again, if you're new here, my name is Michael Nauss. I'm a chartered market technician over with statsedtrading.com. Once a week, at the end of the week, we zoom out to weekly candles and we go over stocks, we go over crypto, and we go over FX on the weekly time frame to see if there are any trends that we can capitalize going into next week. If you want these emailed to you so you never miss a video, then just go to statsedtrading.com, sign up there. Also, make sure you go and grab 15% off trade ideas with Stats Edge, and then you'll be able, from the email list, just to be able to import my symbols directly in with the notes attached so you know everything that I'm watching and why. So, without further ado, we're going to get in here. We're going to start with Bitcoin. And man, I know I've been talking daily about how choppy this is. You zoom out on the weekly chart, it makes perfect sense. We're now 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is going to probably be 5 do nothing weeks in a row. It's nothing to do, right? Now we go into gold. Gold's being a little bit interesting here. We have this area that it's broken down was about 1970. We broke down. Now we came up to it in a pretty wicked topping tail here on gold. Could mean that we're going to reverse and push lower. So next week I'll be looking to short gold if I get a setup there. US dollar, CAD, where are you? Let's pull this out a little bit. Just go USD CAD. We have this support zone right here that we've had for a long period of time. Broke down, put in this topping tail last week. Got a good couple shorts this week and this week into it. But noticing a lot of bottoming tails in this area. So maybe we're going to break back up here. That would just be a big old bull flag in gold. Now we're going to look at Aussie yen. Aussie yen, just a very typical bull flag here, right? We have a pullback here after this big push up. Nice looking bull flag. I'm going to be looking for higher prices in Aussie yen. Wow, that one actually shook the house. I'm going to try to get through this before I lose power. Also, again, in this same vein of currencies, I'm going to start adding, and maybe I'll push these down into traditional securities, but the prop firm that I'm currently using to trade FX with also has access to, the Nikkei and the FTSE and all of these. So I'm starting to trade these as well. Nice little pullback here in the Nikkei this week. Nice little tight flag. Now let's get into the S&P 500 over here on Trade Ideas. We're going to go out to the weekly chart. And a pretty big topping tail here on the SPYs, but what I really wanted to look at was the Qs or the NASDAQ. And, if you look over to where this is the area that we broke down right here. So we broke down out of this area in late 2021, early 2022. We've rallied all the way back there. Now 2 topping tails in that area, with this candle actually being a pretty weak looking candle. So if we see some continued selling, I wouldn't be surprised to see a pullback week, maybe 2. Maybe we retest this area right down here, see what happens on the Qs. Again, I don't think it's the end of this bull run, but at some point, if you want a healthy market, you want to see pullbacks as we go. Can't just explode like this all the time. Maybe it looks like that could be occurring right here. So now we go into XLV, just XLV, and this is our healthcare ETF. And zoom out a little bit, and we're breaking out a little bit on healthcare. If you look at just this downtrend line, we had this very tight coiling pattern going on here, and then we had a breakout this week. So healthcare stocks are interesting. So are oil stocks. I've had this drawn, and I'm looking at the chart that I shared last week, and I had this there as well. It looks like we're continuing to kind of break through this downtrend line on oil and make higher pushes. So that's very interesting. So back into the daily charts, we're going to talk about the individual names. Ooh, that was a big one. Individual names here. Oh, so we're going to go back to oil. And we're going to take a look at GGAL. Added this one a few days ago, I think, and actually bought some today. Market pulled back, Q's pulled back. This was a nice little bull flag here at highs. We broke and then we closed above this area. Not too keen on the rejection of 18, but we were able to close above these recent highs right here. We go into CPE. This is one that I added. CPE is just basically, it's an oil play. And we just talked about how I like the look of oil. And it's getting very, very tight in here as well with a 24% short float. Pretty significant short float here. Another one that I added was BVHN. The dog's just running into my office now. They're not having a good time with this storm. But BVHN actually broke this 25 area right here. Broke out, pulled back. Now it's struggling at 25. You guys know I really like when this prior resistance area becomes support. We're going to go into WW. There's going to be another boom coming in a second because I just saw the flash. And with WW, I'm kind of looking at this like a little cup and handle play. Right? So we had this push down. There was some news with WW that they're pushing weight loss drugs or something now. Maybe that will actually work, but right, we have this kind of cup in here, and then we have a little handle going on. So I'm watching this one very closely. We also have VERV that I added. Again, you can see how the watch list becomes longer as we pull back in the market because I'm able to find more things that are interesting. When the market's just running, that's fine because I have a full portfolio, but it just means there's really nothing for me to add. This Verve, we have a nice little kind of wedge going on right here, right by the 200-day moving average. So if we can push above that, I like the look of this. Last but not least, I think, is NTNX. Yeah, that's the last new one. NTNX, just another little looking cup and handle play. We have the handle right here, and then we have, again, this cup kind of pattern looking on here. So, again, just to summarize, I am looking for some sort of pullback in the market just because that's what the statistics that I went over yesterday on that evening star actually show. But it's a very short-term pattern, and we are in a very bullish market. So I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe a down week next week, some sort of pullback just into prior support zones. If we start to bounce from then, because I'm not going to think that far ahead, but if we start to bounce from there, and that makes sense in this bull market that we pull back, we find support, and then we move again. So I'm going to be building this watch list, maybe buying some things that are bucking the trend. And then as we bounce, I'll have a full portfolio again, and then we rinse and repeat this over and over and over and over and over again. All right, guys, thank you very much. Have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you next week.